Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This is the Eradicator, and in this video we'll be talking about Death of a Spaceman, why it is going to come sooner than expected, and also how it is gradually going to be implemented into the game. But before that, guys, it is the last chance to get a shot at the Retaliator bomber with lifetime insurance. All you have to do to catch on winning is to be a subscriber of the channel and, well, give basically an answer of the giveaway related question I will be asking throughout the video, so be on the lookout for that. Also, if you have access to my Discord channel via Patreon or the join button, then you also have access to an Origin G12R with lifetime insurance. Good luck to everyone out there. Alright guys, so let's talk about Death of a Spaceman. And first, a little reminder, because a lot of you guys have joined the project recently, you may not be very familiar with what Death of a Spaceman is. Basically, Death of a Spaceman is a concept that was introduced by Chris Roberts many years ago, back in 2013. So yeah, that definitely was a long time ago, and definitely a lot of us were not here yet. I was, but we were just a couple of thousands back then. And Chris really did tell us from the get-go, from the start of the project, that he wants death to be very important. He wants death to matter, and he wants us to value our lives in the game. And for that, a lot of different mechanisms are going to be implemented, and the first of them are going to come see the light this year. And we should look no further than Star Citizen Alpha 3.14, which is scheduled for the end of Q2 2021 of this year, so by the end of June. And by then we are going to have the next tier of healing mechanics here, which is going to come in the form of NPC healing, which is basically going to allow us to heal other players and NPCs at the same time, which is going to be great because we are going to need the medic gameplay in the game in order to eventually be saved. We are going to get into some action, some entanglements, maybe some NPCs or other players are going to take us down, and if nobody takes care of our body while we are down, then we may eventually die. But if there are medics around us who are going to be able to revive us, then that is maybe going to save our lives, preserve our bodies, and allow us to fight another day. Now for that, they also need to bring in the backend technology required for healing T0, which is not going to be in the game, and that is also to come at the same time in Star Citizen Alpha 3.14. so that is really when we are going to have the very first element of the healing mechanics. Now right now we have some kind of an embryo, because people are going to say, but you're right, we already have the med beds, and that is true. They are already in the Cutlass Red, as well as the Ignited Jump and the Karak, but they only work if you go in those particular bed to request some healing. It doesn't really help you if you are in the midst of the action. If you are hurt, probably you will not have time to go back to the bed. However, with 3.14 and the healing mechanics, we'll be able to basically be saved on the spot, and that is already a huge difference and a step towards the right direction when it comes to Death of a Spaceman. Now, the next element that is going to bring Death of a Spaceman to life, if I may say so, in Star Citizen is going to happen, according to the roadmap, by the end of this year for Q4 2021, and that is going to come with the Actor Status Tier 2. With basically the Actor Status Tier 2 looks at a variety of new elements such as hygiene, NPC status tracking, multiple bites, DNA integrity, medical insurance, cybernetics limbs, and cloning, and these are the last elements here that we are going to focus on, especially when it comes to, for example, medical insurance, which is going to be very important if you want to have NPCs, for example, NPC services coming up to pick you up your body and eventually clone you to some kind of medical facility. If that is not something that you will have in the future, you are probably going to die and have to create another character. The same goes with cloning, for example. Basically, when you die, they are going to take your DNA. That's where DNA integrity comes into place as well. The more you die, the less your DNA will keep its integrity. Eventually, it is going to fully degrade, which is when you will also have to create a brand new character, thus triggering your death as a spaceman. Also, eventually, as your DNA disintegrates, maybe some of your limbs may not be functional anymore, which is also when you are going to have to need some cybernetics. These parts here that I'm talking about are all scheduled to come by the end of this year in 2021, which is, by the way, considering the length of the progress. Remember, guys, that this particular part of the game, this particular aspect, Death of a Spaceman, was conceptualized in 2013. It is going to come by the end of this year if everything goes right. That means 8 years after it was first revealed by Chris Roberts. It's been a really long time, which is why, yeah, sure, we're doing this here, this video, by the end of February. We're talking about a length of 10 months, but 10 months compared to 8 years is absolutely nothing, which is why it is basically almost around the corner, and I couldn't be more excited for that. Now, how is this going to actually change the way we play the game? Well, I really believe that it is going to change a lot, especially if you're like myself, a combat-oriented player, right? Right now, it's very easy to just go full Rambo mode and try to just, rush into the action, no matter what the consequences are going to be, especially if there's a medical bed nearby, which is basically a mobile spawning point. But in the future, that is not going to be the case anymore, especially if you do care about how your character looks like, what the possessions the character has in the verse, if you want to be keeping those possessions, if you want to have some kind of, if you need some kind of offspring or whatever, you don't want to be starting all over again, which is why you are going to have to think twice before you get into some possible lethal situations. You are going to be thinking, oh, do I have medical insurance? What are going to be the consequences if I fall? Which is not something that we do in the verse right now, and I think that is going to bring a lot of extra excitement, but at the same time a lot of extra stress and a lot of extra strategies that people are going to have to take under consideration before engaging the enemy. Now, this is going to be the giveaway question that I will be asking for this video, guys. How do you approach combat right now? Is it the same as me? Do you just, are you just not really that careful? You just go straight into the action, try to shoot whatever there is at all costs, or are you already careful when it comes to combat situations? Please let me know in the comments down below. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Really, again, I'm a bit overwhelmed after all these years. Death of a Spaceman is finally coming. We can see it coming to pieces already on the roadmap, and I cannot wait to be seeing how it is going to be put in the verse throughout this year. And you can be sure that I'll be reporting about that on the channel this year as well. That's all for this video, guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content on the channel. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.